Hello my sweethearts, today we'll be starting a new section of the channel called the Calliope's Dent. In this series of videos, we'll be discovering books of any kind and I'll be giving you a summary on my opinion about them. I really hope you like it, and if you do, please be sure to leave a comment down below saying you want more of this kind of videos, okay? So, in today's video, I bring back a book called The Power of Habit. As you can see, this is a Spanish edition, but you don't have to worry because everything will be in English, okay? I'll divide this video in two main parts so you don't lose yourself. Now, all that being said, let's start. So, I'll start first explaining habits. Habits are actions that we are already used to do, that we do even without thinking about it, like brushing your teeth, greeting someone, stuff like that. And this is the main reason why they exist. Habits are created so we don't have to think too much. Our brain is always searching for ways to make shortcuts through life, and making habits is a way to do that, so we don't spend much time thinking in what or how to do a certain thing. This is helpful in a lot of ways, like when you're used to driving, you don't have to think much about it, nor think about every single action you're doing while driving. But sometimes these habits that we create, either consciously or unconsciously, aren't that good. Like eating when every time you feel depressed or having a lot of snacks while you are at work. This is the main thing I want you to take out of this video. This is called the habit loop, and this is the way our brains create habits. Now, let's see every part of the loop. This is the cue, the signal. It's the moment our brain gets the signal for starting a habit. Imagine you always go to sleep at 9 p.m. The moment 9 p.m. arrives and you notice it is the moment when your brain starts the next part of the loop, the routine. In our example, this will be going to sleep. This routine is the actual thing you do, the activity. When you have accomplished the activity, the last part of the loop arrives. The reward. You sleep and the reward is feeling rested. The reward is anything you have gained for making the routine. Now, all the parts of the loop are important, and without any of them, the loop will fail and consequently, it doesn't create the habit. And what's the important part of all of this? This loop can help us understand how our habits work, and with that we can change or create any type of habit we want. Now that we have understood all the parts of the loop, it's time for us to see some example of how to make it work in our advantage. For creating a new habit, the first and easiest thing we are gonna do is get a routine. The routine is the habit you want to create, like doing exercise, eating healthy, painting every morning, journaling, everything you want to do, right? A good formula to use this loop is: when I see the cue, I will follow the routine so I can get the reward. Let's say, for example, that you wanna go running for 20 minutes in the morning. That's our routine, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is to search either for the reward of the cue. These two are crucial and have to be done correctly in order that the habit is created and you actually do it. You have to search for a cue that is unique to the habit you want to create. Going back to our objective of doing exercise, one good cue you can use is setting our sport clothes right next to a visible place, like in a chair or in a table, just we wake up. So when we see the cue, the pile of the sport clothes, our brain can get, oh, this is time for us to make the routine that will be running 20 minutes, right? So now you have with our formula, when I see my sport clothes, I will run for 20 minutes. The last thing that is missing here is our reward. Now, for this, you have to make it a good reward, something you actually want. And the routine has to give it directly the reward. For example, we can put as our reward for running, feeling good with myself, having a shower, feel proud, or the endorphins that come with the exercise, right? These are all good rewards because immediately for doing the routine, we can get a reward. It can be tricky to try to identify a good reward that feels good and you really want, but you just have to think and try different things so you can see what is the best reward for yourself. Now we have our loop habit complete. When I see my sport clothes, I will run for 20 minutes so I can get to feel proud of myself. And this is the complete loop. This can be made with any habit you want to implement in your life. Just be sure to follow the loop. We have learned how to create a new habit, but can we change one? Of course, using all our knowledge, so far we're gonna learn how to change a habit you don't like, okay? For this, first we're gonna identify the habit you don't want. Let's say it's eating food even though you have already eaten, right? And you're starting to get a little bit chubby and you simply don't want it anymore. And you simply don't want it anymore, right? Our routine will be the habit itself, right? Like I've said previously, eating, right? Now that we have identified the routine, we have to identify the cue and the reward. First, if you choose to identify the reward first, we're gonna identify what is the reward you get from eating, okay? It might be that eating makes you feel less anxious or creates a kind of safe place, right? You have to actually see what is the reward, and for this, you're gonna make that every time. For example, every time that you feel the need to eat, you're gonna try and replace it with another thing. For example, you can try making exercise. Whatever you feel like it will fulfill the reward that eating gives you. Let's say for our example that is write about your feelings, okay? Now we're gonna identify the cue. Identifying the cue can be hard because we're always so filled with different stimulus. According to Charles, there are 5 categories in which cues might fit: place, time, emotional state, other people, and immediate prior action. For this, try carrying a notepad so every time you feel the impulse of doing the routine, you answer the following questions. Where am I? What time is it? What is my emotional state or how am I feeling? Who else is around here? And what prior action I did before getting the impulse. For this, you'll start to see which is the thing that your brain takes for cue. For example, maybe you have realized that every time that you feel the impulse to eat, it's when you feel anxious or sad. Knowing this will let you know the cause of the habit and what triggers it. Identifying all the parts of the loop will make you able to change it. Now, using the previous formula we have used with our previous examples, we can change from when I feel anxious, I will eat in order to feel safe, to when I feel anxious, I will write about my feelings in order to feel safe. As you can see, this is kind of a sandwich when you have only changed the middle part for a more healthy habit that you want to take. So, after all this, I really want you to stick with the loop habit, which I think is the most important takeouts of the book. Try different things because it's the best way to see if something really works for you. And this is not only the loop habit that will work. You always have to have willpower and have determination to create or change a new habit. The loop habit will of course help you and will make you understand how your brain works, but it's not only that, okay? But I trust you and I'm sure that if you really try, you're gonna make it. And we have arrived to the ending of the video. There's a lot more things in this book that I wasn't able to say, so if you're interested in the things I say today, be sure to get the book. I assure you it's worth your time. Of course, in the description will be the book if you're interested in buying it and obtaining it. Finally, I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoy making it. If you like it, be sure to comment it if you want more of this type of videos and which book should I do next, okay? Have a nice day and remember, be happy, be joyful, and most important, be yourself.